Hello and welcome to this video for today. Whether you're here for the first time or you're returning, hope you will enjoy. Hey there guys, how's it going? It's me, I'm back again to bring you another deck tech. You guys quite liked the last one. I did like this, where we went through the Aura of Courage deck. Now we're getting into the Draconic Rage deck. We're going to be raging along. So yeah, we'll be getting right into this one for today. I'm going to go over and have a quick look at some of the cards that are in this deck and whatnot, and then we're going to move on to the actual upgrades as I did last time. So right, here we go. Yeah, so we can start looking at some of the prices for some of the cards. Now, it does show, again, the prices for the new cards, but, of course, those cards are going to be in flux. So, you know, it is what it is. We're going to look at them no matter what right now, right here. So, we're not going to get a really clear, picture of, again, the prices of the deck or of the new cards from the deck. So don't worry about any of the prices. I'm not going to go too much over the stats or anything. Like I said last time, there are some notable cards in these decks that are, really great reprints. In this commander deck. They're always really great value. Again, we're not going to go through too much of that stuff, but you can sort of see what the deck is and what the deck's doing for the most part. It's fairly basic for the most part on a lot of these cards. Some of the cards, again, I would say that don't really fit with... They do fit with what you're doing, but they're just not reliable or repeatable or effective enough to warrant a price in this deck. So then you kind of go, well, if I buy this deck and I go, oh, okay, well, what am I going to do with this deck? Now that I have it, how do I upgrade it? What do I do? There's always that chance that you can change commanders, but I'm not going to. In all of these, I'm not changing what the commander is. I'm not too worried about it. If you want to build around one of the other legends that are in these decks, you can very well go ahead. Again, so I'm just going to build around Vardis here, the face commander. And we're going to go over to EDH Rec and have a bit of a look at some cards that I would suggest that you would think about putting into this deck and whatnot. And then we're going to just wrap up again, as we say. So we'll go over here. So this is our commandery boy. Yeah, Goblin Chaomancer is pretty good. I'm not focusing too much on the dice rolling sub-theme of this deck. Like, if you want to do that, you go ahead and you do that. That's fine. But I'm looking more at, like, pinging our commander to make tokens and then just hitting people with our tokens, sacrificing them in some way to do other things like that and whatnot. And then just, like, Gruul aggro, stroke, ramp sort of style stuff, whatnot. So, yeah, Goblin Boy here is pretty good. Reduces our spells of red and green by 1. That's pretty good. He's only like 25 cents. Really easy to pick one up. So, what... This guy comes in the precon. You could go down a little bit of a dragon tribal theme with this, but I'm not really. There's a few really good dragons, though, in this deck and whatnot, and some really good dragons that really help you out. So, again, you could go down the dinosaur route or having that whole enrage sort of thing. Pyrohemia, absolutely. Get this card 100% in there. You really want a card like this. It pings your commander and it pings all your other opponent's creatures. And it pings all your other creatures. That's if you're going down the enrage path. You can put Raging Raptors in there. Raging Raptors pretty good. Get you a land whenever it gets pinged. That's pretty good. Terror of the Peaks is amazing. Just amazing. Get Warstorm Sturge out of this deck and put Terror of the Peaks in there. Because Terror of the Peaks is so much more relevant in the sky, being able to hit people and, if they want to target it, they've got to pay 3 life or whatever, or whatnot. They've got to get around it by board wiping. Outpost Siege is okay. I don't love it, but, if you want to put it in, that's fine. I would put more towards things that are like Guardian Project and whatnot, that sort of stuff in here, because those are just a lot better. Marauding Raptor's really good. It reduces your creature spells cost, and then it pings your creatures when they enter. It makes itself bigger, but whatever. That's not here nor there. You want it for the pings, and that's pretty good for the pings, so I think you want it for that at least. Polyraptor's amazing. It just can go infinite with a ham sandwich. It's really good. Return of the Wild Speaker's really good as well. Draws you lots of cards or pumps your creatures, for that final alpha strike. Garruk's Uprising is really good as well. Gives your creatures trample, which you really want. And it, draws you cards when it enters most of the time, because most of your stuff's going to be 4 power or above. And whenever you have a 4 power or above creature enter, it's going to draw you a card. Most of your creatures, again, going to be 4 power or above. A lot of the mana rocks, I would say, take them out. They're just not worth your time to have mana rocks in there. Especially since you're in green, you've got green ramp. You don't need mana rocks at all. Rampant Growth's just fine. It's not the greatest card in the world. Yeah, sure. Again, someone's going to say, well, 3 visits and Nature's Law is better. But yeah, we're on a budget. So, or whatever. If you're on a budget, this is just fine. Cultivate, I would steer clear of, but it is okay. Beast Within, you 100% want a Beast Within. Chaos Warp as well, you 100% want a Chaos Warp if you can put it in there. Shame Revolution, maybe. Savage Ventmaw is actually really good, gives you a whole bunch of mana. Like I said, Chaos Warp's really good. But yeah, Savage Ventmaw gives you a whole bunch of mana, and it doesn't leave. If you're going down like Dragon Tribal, I would think Ataka pretty good, so maybe it's fine. Brash Taunter, though. Brash Taunter is a card that you absolutely want. You absolutely want Brash Taunter 100%, because if you ping it with Pyrohemia or any other effect, it just pings your opponent. So that's really good too. And you can make it fight things, or you can deal mass damage to it, things like this. You can just use it to hurt people a lot. If you've got the money for Nature's Law, or you can find them or whatnot, that sort of stuff, yeah, absolutely throw it in. Again, I'm not going down the Dragon Tribal aspect side of this. I'm not really caring about that specific aspect. But again, if you want to go down that aspect, you feel free to do so. I'm going more down the pinging side. So this is in the deck. I would consider taking it out. Okara Familiar, or Arcana Familiar, whatever it's called here, giving your commander indestructible is amazing, because when you're pinging your commander, what's the worst thing that can happen? It dies because you're pinging it too much. I mean, still, it might die, but again, at some point, but still, giving you creature protection is really good, so that you can just keep pinging it. You don't want to ping it too much, because then otherwise you'll kill some of the dinos or whatever you're making with it, but still, it's pretty good. It does depend also what direction you want to go down, if you want to go down the direction of dinos or whatever, but I wouldn't. Toski, Bearer of Secrets, he's indestructible, and he gives your creatures card draw when they hit, so that's pretty darn good. Again, Terra's pretty good, I don't know. Perfrost is really good if you've got the budget for it, but it is hard to get your hands on it, because it is fairly expensive. But if you've got the budget for it, you're going to ping people to death with it a lot of the time, or a lot of life's going to be lost. So yeah, that's pretty good. What does this thing do? Enters. Yeah, actually, if you're going down the dinosaur route, Frontier of the Empire's probably okay. Again, I said, you can go down that path of putting all the enraged stuff in this deck, then this is pretty good. But if you're not going down that route, I wouldn't think about it. Of course, you want all the classic ramp sources like Later Elves and all that, but again, I'm not going to talk too much about those. This little guy, Minion of the Mighty, it's kind of cool, kind of interesting, but it's so easy to kill off, so I'm not so hyped for it. If it ever drops one thing in that's kind of cool or whatever, that's, if you want to put it in, I think it's probably cool, but still, I don't know. There are a lot of cool dragons and whatnot. There are a lot of cool cards that are in these colours, and whatnot. So certainly, it is hard to find some of them as well, but still, if you have them or if you can afford them, I would definitely consider them. Like Flame Spit, I don't really like. Even it only does 4 damage. That's the problem. Like if it did a lot more damage, then I'd be much more interested. So in that deck, I think you take that out. Like there's certainly some good stuff. Like Return to Nature is pretty good. What else is pretty good? Not really. We're not. Tybalt's Trickery is okay, but not great. Actually, what does a Tarkus command do? No, probably not. Probably not. Crop Rotation, Harrow. Harrow's okay, though, too, because it is only like 25 cents. But I would just, play, Yavimaya Dryad and, Wood Elves and things like that. So, yeah. Like, if you got the 3 visits or you got the money for 3 visits, fine. Fast 6, only a couple bucks. Jessica's Will is a lot of money, but if you have it, it's great. Blasphemous Axe, really good. One of the best board wipes that is in your colours. It's one of the only few really good board wipes. Like I said, Ryle, I don't think it's very good. It's only one off, and yeah, I don't think it's that good. Chain Reaction's okay, but I don't know. About the other one that's in this deck. It's not Rolling Earthquake, is it? It's the other Magma Quake or whatever it is. Yeah, I don't really like that one. Savage Twister, no. You might want Indestructible for your commander to the point you want some of these equipment, but I don't really think you do that much. Fast Boots. Don't think so. Impact Tremors is amazing though in decks like this. You just keep pinging your opponents and whatnot. Actually, Rhythm of the Wild isn't that good because you're making tokens, I guess. But it does mean your stuff can't be counted and your non-token creatures are getting riots, so it could be really good. Dragon Tempest, if you're going down the dragon route, pretty good. Gives your dragons haste. You always want that haste with your dragons because they're big mana spells. You don't want to sit there and play this big dragon and be like, oh, okay, cool. Now I just have to wait till I can actually attack with it and actually do something with it. You want haste on all your stuff. So yeah. Don't think Colossal Majesty is very good. I rather like Elemental Bond or something like that. Guardian Project, things like that. Like again, if you're going down the dragon route. Dragon's getting +3/+3. He's going to kill people pretty quick. Where Ancient's Tread's only like 35 cents. That's amazing. Like, yeah, definitely put this in. Maybe. Yeah, maybe. But still, it's still like 35 cents, so maybe. Maybe. It depends. Like, I don't think Warstorm Surge is that good. And it's almost like level of Warstorm Surge. So, but again, some people play Warstorm Surge. This is the card that I want to put in. Squirrel card, yes. But I don't think it's actually, that good out of Squirrel Tribal otherwise. I don't think we really care about much Planeswalker stuff, so, there are some that are okay, but yeah, and there's not much utility lands that I think you want, and there's definitely no mana rocks that you want. And then, yeah, there's lands and whatnot, but I'm not going to go through too many of the lands because, it's really boring to actually go through the lands and whatnot. So, yeah, like, if you have the lands or whatever, toss them in. Same thing as I always sort of say with a lot of these. But, when you go along and go ahead and go, well, what am I going to, take out? There's a lot of cards, a lot of tap lands and whatnot in this deck. You actually do have Syndicated in this deck, which is good. That's a really good fixing land. It's only a couple bucks. Command Tower. Again, Crucible. I don't really think it matters that much, but it does tutor for a dragon. I don't think Desert's very good. It does ping your commander or whatever, or ping some of your stuff, but I don't think it's worth it. Gruul Turf, get that out of here. Get that out of here. Same with Haven of the Spirit Dragon. I don't really get it. I don't think Mossfire Valley is very good. It's sort of like a Signet land. The fact that it can't tap for mana by itself just sort of... what is Underdark? Oh, yeah, you get rid of a thing. I don't think that's really that worth it. But yeah, there's a bunch of little niggly cards that I would consider cutting from this deck, like Outpost Siege. Yeah. So there are some stuff like this. I don't know. What's this? Garrick's Uprising is actually in the deck. So yeah, Colossal Majesty's in the deck. Like, I should look through some of these cards, but it's just Heirloom Blue, get that out of there. Like, what is that doing in there? I understand why Dragon's Horde's in there because there's a whole bunch of dragons and whatnot. It's okay. It's not amazing. Any of this stuff that's to do with rolling dice, if you actually want to make a deck that's actually like works and does stuff, I would take some of this stuff that rolls dice or that flips coins or that, ventures into dungeons or whatnot, that sort of stuff out, because it just doesn't do anything with what you're doing. Sage of Hours, like, this isn't an equipment deck. Again, you don't need any of these signets. Bag of Tricks, I don't think that does anything. You don't need any of these signets or any of these artifacts, really. Some of these cards, like Kindred Summons, is a nice card draw, or kind of card draw, but it's one of those things that it if you're not one tribe or whatever, it just sort of doesn't do much. Actually, I might put that in Squirrels. That's a really good card for Squirrels. So yeah, there's a bunch of little cards here and there, like Cultivates in the deck that I would just like take out. Spit Flame, Magma Quake, things like that. Kazul's Wool, very good. Creature without flying, destroy target artifacts or enchantments. 4 mana to destroy an artifact or enchantment. It's not that good. The versatility is where it's good, I guess. Yeah. So I wouldn't think about it too much. Beast Within's in the deck. Well, there you go. Turn Nature's in there. Rampant Growth's in there. Explore's not that good. Don't think. Rile's not that good. So some of these dragons you could take out, like this one. I don't know. I don't know. Paying for pings, whatever. Like, sure, some of them are really good and some of them are really powerful. Savage Rentmal's already in this deck. Oh, jeez. Don't know what I'm talking about, do I? But again, some of these, like this one, doesn't do much. This one does nothing. Absolute nothing. So, yeah, I wouldn't keep him in. Demanding Dragon. There's some cool dragons, but it's just kind of like, well, what are you doing with it? Like, again, it's not a dragon deck that much. I guess it's sort of a dragon deck because it's, he makes dragons or whatnot. And a lot of this stuff is just like, yeah, it's focused to be a dragon tribal deck. Like, if you want to build dragon tribal, yeah, sure, you could go down that route. But you'd want a dragon commander or a creature that is a dragon or that really cares about dragons. So this doesn't care about dragons that much. So that's all I've got to go through with this deck. But hope you've enjoyed. Tell me what you think about this deck. Tell me what you would take out, put in into this deck. So yeah, let me know all those things, and I'll see you in the next one. If you would like to further support the channel, you can go onto our Patreon. You can also get social with us on our Facebook. To follow all the updates, make sure you hit the like button. And on our Discord, to get into it, please leave a comment and I'll send you an invite. All links are in the description. I hope you have enjoyed this video here today, and if you have, please consider liking, sharing and subscribing, and I hope you will come back for another one. See you then.